You're absolutely correct. And I want people to remember that your first day of political science class in college, they tell you that politics answers the question, who gets what when? It's about the public distributing the public goods. And they base that upon who has the most people behind them. And so when we're talking about voter suppression writ large as a big subject matter, folks have to understand that there's two ways you can do it. What you were just describing is packing. You put all the black folks into one district to have super majority black districts. Therefore, with the exact same population, let's say there's 10 congressional seats up for grabs, you're going to have one super majority black district and then 9 lily white districts with that same population. Then there's dilution. If we take that same majority black district and cut it up 10 different ways, where now each district only has about a 10% black population, well, now you've also diluted that vote because now you don't have the power to actually elect people within those districts. That's the second way you can do voter suppression. So this is why it's so crucial that we pay attention, not just on the federal level. Black folks will turn out for a presidential election. We will turn out for a gubernatorial, a Senate election, those sorts of things. But these state elections going into the second half of this decade, because when we go into redistricting in 2030, we will not have the protections of any version of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. There will be absolutely no remnant of it on the books. The Supreme Court, as it exists right now, is only waiting. They're chomping at the bit for a case to bubble up to them so they can get rid of the last remnants and kill the Voting Rights Act dead, and the Civil Rights Act won't be long after that. So when we're going into these 2026 midterms and the 2028 election, we as a community have to make it a bedrock principle that anybody who strolls into our neighborhoods and says they want our votes has at the front of that list not just renewing and supporting the Voting Rights Act of 1965, passing a new version for 2025. Passing a new Voting Rights Act, not just the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. We have to take it to an entirely different level because the fight is completely different. You've been saying, and I've been saying for 2-3 years now, read Project 2025. Page 555 of Project 2025 talks about using the military to go into cities to put down mass demonstrations and limit free speech. And we just saw them do it last week in Los Angeles. They are telling you and choreographing that they are doing every single thing in Project 2025, and they're doing it quick, fast, and in a hurry. And one of the things in there is getting rid of every federal protection around voting, allowing these local jurisdictions to pack and to dilute the black vote. And we will see the U.S. Congress and every House of Representatives around the country looking a lot closer to 1865 than 1965, and we don't make that our priority going into the next election.